My story in 90 seconds. I'm second generation real estate, born and bred. I've been working in the sector for more than 10 years and most recently at CBRE for the past 6 in the development team in London. But I'm very excited that my current position is at Built ID, which is a prop tech startup and a great success story for London and the UK, where I'm Director of Community Engagement. And the reason why I'm at Built ID is because I'm so excited to drive change across our industry using tech and talent across a variety of sectors in the built environment. Put simply, I'm determined to change at both a grassroots and a global level inequality and injustice. And it's what gets me out of bed every day. And I'm determined to be part of the movement that can change it. From a housing and homelessness issue to a societal issue across a number of challenges that we see in a professional context, that is what drives me to change and to innovate. As someone who is quite different and has recognised that's probably her strength rather than her weakness, I have struggled professionally to find the benchmark for success, either among peers or other people across the industry, because it's such a broad sector. So the one corny slogan that helped me consolidate who I was as a person and as a professional is a line from Simon Sinek who said, "Be your own competition." And for me, it's a great way to be accountable to myself and only to myself on being a better version of myself along the journey of my professional career. And it's up to me to set those metrics of success, and it's up to me to achieve them, no one else. Someone that inspires me, that is very corny, but that's a bit like me, is ultimately my mum, who has been working in real estate for more than 35 years. So even today, I learn a lot from her, particularly around the value of relationships with integrity, and that's what she's taught me, and that's what I try and live out in every aspect of my life, both professionally and personally. Real estate isn't about the bricks and mortar, the concrete, the steel. It's about the people that we're privileged to work with, work for, and to support across the community. And I think I've learned a lot from her in regards to that. I have a few rituals. One of them I'll share as a professional one, one's a personal. Professionally, I do what's called 10 before 10. So before 10 a.m. every day, I make sure that I have at least 10 points of contact or engagement with people, mostly across the industry. Because it's a great way to kickstart the day and get momentum for myself and our team and our business to make sure that we're really following up on all of the exciting opportunities and conversations we have, and also helping connect people across the market. And I find it's a really good way to increase productivity and maintain focus in a BD role and team. Personally, one thing I do every day, which is very corny, is I have one non-negotiable, which is I must dance in the street. Seriously, I just did it then. So it was such a good song, Nina Simone. And it's just a way to have a bit of a moment of release because London gets stressful, life gets stressful, and you've got to still have a dance no matter what's going on. If you can't dance, if you can't find rhythm in your life, then you're doing something wrong. So I have a rule that every day I've got to dance in public in a highly exposed area. I freak some people out. It could be on the tube, it could be on the street, it could be Oxford Street, but it keeps it fun and, keeps it engaging. One thing I would say to those listening is that you are so privileged to be able to work in real estate or a capacity built environment, and you have a role and a duty to use that privilege to help others before helping yourself. We are in the top 1% and we are informed, engaged professionals, but it's up to us to contribute to the world. And that could be as simple as offering someone in your team a cup of coffee when you go to the tea room, to starting a women's network group or starting a group for a cause that you're prepared to support, or even joining us on September 20th for the Climate Change March, or anything else in between. But I see so many people, particularly the next gen, in real estate wanting to get involved and contribute, which is so exciting. But often they look to other people to lead them. And there is a role for leaders in the industry, but there's also a role for us all to be leaders and for us all to pick up the pen or the palette or the baton and actually just be the person who gets it done. So I would say to people out there, just do it. Take the Nike principle and just go and do it. And if you see something that's unjust or unequal and you have a problem with it as a person and then as a professional, go and change it, because it's up to you to do it. If I could give one piece of advice to the next gen coming through, as someone who was that and still hopes she's young enough to call herself that, it is leave no stone unturned. Uncover every question in your mind about your potential and your capacity as both a person and a professional working in the built environment. Be hungry, be ambitious, and do never apologize for your dreams, because it is the thing that will keep you there at 2 a.m. working on that Excel spreadsheet or building that DCF cash flow model that we all know you don't want to do, but we all have to do it as part of some of our pathways and journeys. And accept that we sometimes have to do the things we don't want to do in that learning process, but be hungry enough to know it's part of a much bigger journey, and never apologize for making sure that that journey goes to dreams that sometimes scare you but also really excite you. What is coming next? Great question. I think as the next gen of people working across the built environment, we have the unique ability to be connected across a variety of mediums, particularly in a digital landscape. And I put my Built ID hat on here around how we can use digital to engage and inform a much wider and diverse audience. And I see a great opportunity with that to have a much louder conversation that will ultimately drive change and turn that into action. I mean, look at the impact that one 16-year-old girl has had in Europe and what she's been able to do just by getting on social media and saying something and then actually doing it. So I think we have a role to follow in her footsteps and many others, where we can use the power of digital and social media with our own intents and purposes to come together as a collective group and become louder and prouder of who we are and what we could achieve together. Oh, well, if I can take 20 seconds to tell you about Fernando, my foxy friend, who actually woke me up one balmy August morning last year in Hackney, when he had not only crept into my house and my room, but was on my bed. So I woke up and there was literally a fox sitting on me, staring at me point blank in the face. And I thought, wow, this is a way to wake up on a Wednesday. And I took it. You can't laugh. I took it as a sign from the universe that I had to change.
Oh my goodness.
And I had to speak my truth, Oprah Winfrey style, and I had to get out of bed and do the things and be happy and be fulfilled and gave me purpose, which was community engagement and trying to make the world a better place. So ever since then, as I've evolved into this role at Built ID, Fernando and I have actually become friends, and he hangs out in my backyard and we have a great time. But I do wear this just to be a bit extra because it's fun, and as a reminder to speak your truth every day. Otherwise you might wake up with a fox in your bed.